Teaching and learning is our core business, so it makes sense that instruction is also the single largest cost in our annual operating budget. As we serve an increasingly diverse population of learners, and as we seek to address the mental health and social emotional wellness needs of all of our students, instruction costs rise annually. Serving a diverse community of learners requires us to differentiate funding and differentiate staffing. Each school has its own unique needs based on its individual student population. Providing the principals with the tools and the staff necessary to serve their schools will create a better learning environment for our students. Differentiated staffing allows principals the flexibility to build a team of educators who can best meet the needs of their respective schools. Differentiated funding allows schools the opportunity to expand their resources, add more instructional materials, and produce extraordinary learning environments. The superintendent's proposed operating budget once again includes an initiative to increase the per-student allocation given to each school, which will better support discretionary spending for instructional supplies and supports. This $3.4 million initiative would increase per-pupil allocations for schools for the first time in about 30 years. This would allow schools to purchase materials that some teachers and students are having to provide currently. We are recommending that the base amount of approximately $55 per pupil be adjusted based on cumulative inflation of over 30 years to a new base allocation of $90 per student. This is what equity looks like. Each of our students and each of our schools have different needs. Through this proposed plan, we would be able to differentiate funding to provide the support and resources necessary for our students to experience success.
Differentiated funding is important, particularly in a county like Chesterfield, where we have over 60,000 students and over 60 schools. We're such a widely diverse community, and that diversity exists even within school buildings. Myself, I'm the principal of a high poverty school, but under the same roof, we have students that come from very, very affluent backgrounds. So to address the needs of each specific child within schools, we have to have differentiated funding across buildings and sometimes within buildings to make sure we're able to meet children where they are.
And I would say that every school has different needs, so it's not right to just say, here's the funds and this is how it should be allocated. You have to take a look at what your school specifically needs and address the needs of those students. Our students are what we're there for, and so that's how we have to really take a look and differentiate our funding.
All of our schools are different. Some schools have higher needs in certain areas than others, and when we have differentiated spending, schools are able to allocate those funds to truly make their schools a success.
Not every student learns the same way at the same pace, and differentiated funding does allow us to provide resources and materials as well as teaching staff for students who may need a different approach than other students.
Every school has a challenge, and what differentiated funding and differentiated staffing allow for a school to do is to put the funding and to put the people in the right position to meet the demands of those challenges. Each student is unique. Each student is coming to us with a different story, and our role as a school is to prepare that child for whatever's next. So for me, as a high school principal, we have one focus: to get kids ready for whatever's next for them once they graduate.
With differentiated funding, we can really engage the students that we need to engage to build them up to a place that they can become their best selves.